Hey everybody, today we're going to discuss how to increase your credit limit to 5 figures without a hard inquiry or income verification, fast and easy. So after you acquired your credit card, especially in the beginning, most likely your credit limit isn't too high, somewhere between $500 to possibly $5,000. And if your credit is good, then somewhere around $4,000 to $30,000. So yeah, big difference when your credit is established versus not established. By the way, if you want to learn how to increase your credit score fast, check out my Credit 101 video guide. You can click above and it will take you there, or you can click on the link in the video description below. Anyways, whether your credit is established or not, after acquiring a credit card for roughly 6 months to 1 year, you can call in and ask to increase your credit limit without a hard inquiry and or income verification. Or you may receive credit limit pre-approvals through letter mail, email promotions, logging into online banking, and app notifications. The increase can be anywhere from 10% to 1,000%. Credit limits that are less than $5,000 tend to increase at higher percentages. For example, it's easier to go from $500 to $5,000 versus $5,000 to $50,000. So credit limits that are already high will on average increase around 10% to 40%, and so rarely a maximum of 100%. So expect if you have a credit limit of $20,000, you will most likely be increased to $24,000, which is 20% or so, or to a rare maximum of $40,000, which is 100% increase. Rare, but it does happen. The benefits of requesting or accepting no hard inquiry credit limit increases is that no paperwork is needed to be sent in, therefore no income verification and no hard inquiry required, thus no damage to your credit score. The process is quick and easy, and you will have access to the credit immediately after the phone call or the acceptance of the pre-approval credit limit. The downside is that sometimes the credit issuer won't increase it or won't increase it to the amount that you want. Also, in times of crisis such as the COVID-19 pandemic or the 2008 financial crisis, the pre-approval amounts will be less than normal, or credit limit increases will not be allowed until time passes. So it's better to get this up and running before a financial crisis or pandemic does happen. That way you do have access to it during hard times. However, you can just keep calling in every 6 months and ask for an increase or see if there's a credit limit pre-approval available. So if you are rejected once, it doesn't matter. You can call in and ask again within 6 months. Also, you may have to give a reason why you want to increase your credit limit. The one that I like to use is that I don't want to utilize more than 50% of my credit on this credit card, and so I would like to have a higher credit limit to lower my utilization. Or you can say I will be spending more in the future and I would like to have access to a credit limit that will fit my needs. There are multiple reasons. These are just 2 examples. And here's an example of a live call that I did to increase the credit limit on one of my credit cards, so you can see and hear what I do to increase my credit limits without a hard inquiry.
In order to access your account, please enter your World Elite card number. Great news! You have been pre-approved for an increase to your credit limit. To take advantage of this offer and speak with us now, press 1.
I just went through the automated robotic customer support service. I didn't even talk to a real human being yet, and I already got the credit limit increase. Now I wonder how much it is, so I'm going to contact them and see how much of an increase I have. Right now I'm in the mid 7,000s on this specific World Elite MasterCard, so we'll see how much it is now with the pre-approval credit limit increase.
How can I help?
I just wanted to know if there was a pre-approval credit limit increase on this credit card.
Oh yeah, we have a new limit offered for 10,000 from 7,500.
So all I did was call the number on the back of my credit card and ask the customer service representative whether I am eligible for a higher credit limit increase without a hard inquiry, or a pre-approval for a credit limit increase, or if I can increase my credit limit without a hard inquiry. And then I see if I can, then I agree to the amount, and bam, I just increased my credit limit. Please note, if you're not good with managing your credit, then it's best not to increase your credit limit. This is more so for those that understand the responsibilities and or the risks tied to having a higher credit limit, which is the possibility of being in large amounts of debt if credit is being used irresponsibly. And I just wanted to note a second method to increase your overall credit limit access. So most credit issuers won't give access to a 40K or higher limit to an individual that has an average income and or new to credit. Most people in Toronto make around 40 to 60K, and if you're new to credit and it's your first credit card, most likely you won't get pre-approved for a credit limit of 40K. However, over time, you can definitely achieve getting there. And if your income is really good, then you can pretty much request a really high credit limit and expect to get approved. These are individuals that are making somewhere between $100,000 to $120,000 plus a year. Those individuals can get higher credit limits quicker and faster than those that obviously make lower income. But over time, you can definitely achieve a high credit limit. Now, you're asking me, what is the point of increasing your credit limit? Well, firstly, by increasing your credit limit, you will overall decrease your credit utilization and your credit score will go up. So if you have a $40,000 plus credit limit and only spend around $1,500 a month, then your utilization will always be around 3.75%, which is pretty good. This in turn will allow you to have a higher credit score and allow you to maintain that score. And the higher your credit limit is and the longer you have access to it, the better it looks in terms of financial responsibility. And thus, the easier it is to get other forms of credit such as mortgages, loans, financing, business credit, and etc. Secondly, your personal credit can be used as supplemental cash, best for purchases when personal deposits, checks, bank drafts, payments, or cash are delayed, stolen, or the bank system is currently not accessible. You can take advantage of the credit card's grace period for purchases, and once your payments are deposited and are cleared, you can then simply pay off the credit card. And remember, no interest was paid due to the credit card's grace period, which gives you at least 21 days of no interest after the last billing transaction in the billing statement. I mean, isn't it nice to know that you have access to 50K to 200K in credit, and that in the worst case scenario, you can more or less purchase anything you need to get out of that situation? Obviously, you don't want to be in a worst case scenario, but it's always nice to have a backup plan to the backup plan, right? Always have a savings and always focus on using your savings before ever touching credit. However, credit is also good in times of dire need. Thirdly, your personal credit can be used for a business too. And by having access to higher limits, you can make large purchases easy through your credit card. For example, a workstation computer is quite costly. It can be anywhere from like $3,000 to $10,000 plus, if not way more than that. And you would want that protected. And by purchasing it through your credit card, it provides a lot more consumer protections, including warranties, arbitrations, and insurance policies compared to debit purchases, cash, or wire transfers, which provide usually nothing. Thus, credit cards protect your purchases. Obviously, purchase what you can afford. Don't just buy something for $15,000 because you have a $15,000 credit limit. And at the end of the day, it's better to get business credit and or a business credit card for businesses because it's actually easier to get higher credit limits on a business credit card because credit issuers understand that businesses have way more day-to-day expenses than normal consumers do. And thus, on your first business credit card, you can easily get a credit limit from $10,000 to $100,000. This is on your first credit card or first line of credit. However, the amount depends on your personal credit score, business credit score, and business operations, but compared to personal credit, business credit limits are just way higher. Personal credit limits tend to start around $500 and then possibly over time increase it to $15,000 to $25,000 plus and eventually higher. But with business credit, you can actually get there a lot quicker. And I just wanted to note that business credit is not reported to your personal credit report and does not determine your personal credit score, but rather your business credit score. So if you have late payments on your business credit, this will not affect your personal credit, but obviously you don't want to have late payments at all because it will still affect your business credit score, which is something that is pretty vital, especially if you have a business. So incorporate and get that business credit. If you want, no pressure, though I think it's better to do so in the long term. Just to sum this video up, by calling in every 6 months, you can increase your credit limit without a hard inquiry. This isn't fully guaranteed, but it happens frequently. And by diversifying credit sources, you can increase your overall credit limit higher. And if you ultimately need even more credit, then it's time to look into business credit. This is the end of today's video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification. This is Mike Gap signing out. Have a good one, everybody.